Oh, good morning. We are just a camera on our way over to All Out Cycles in Chesapeake to drop off the Spyder to get some work done in preparation for the trip. And Virginia is one of those states that requires a state safety inspection for cars and motorcycles. Mine is due, and so I was going to take it to my local shop, who has typically been doing my state inspections because they're right around the corner from my house, compared to All Out Cycles, which is a pretty good little haul, but they're the closest Spyder dealership. And so when I happened to bring it up in conversation, they reminded me that, you know, we do state inspections also. So I'm going to have them do the state inspection and do the work on the Spyder. So what do we haven't done on the Spyder? The RT Limited has a air compressor that pumps up the center. I don't know if it, I know I'm going to say it wrong, so I'll say strut or shock under the seat that elevates the ride configuration. It's different than the two shocks that are on the front two wheels. But you know, we've been lucky. We have trying to think about what maintenance we've had to have done on the Spyder since we've owned it. Fuel pump last year. You know, I had to replace the rear axle once because of damage to the threads, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, pretty much routine maintenance. Oh, I changed out a light bulb, and you know, typically you're wearing things such as tires and batteries and filters. I do that regularly. As far as maintenance repairs, that's pretty much it. So it's hard to believe that it's almost exactly 6 years since we brought the Spyder home the first time. Temperature day out here is nice. My thermometer is saying 73, and I was wondering if I was going to need to put the liner on under my jacket, because all I have is the mesh jacket and a t-shirt, and I'm comfortable. Also been in preparation for the trip, getting things knocked out on my task list. From the Spyder this morning, I realized I forgot to eat breakfast. So maybe grab something on the way home from dropping off the Spyder. You know, here it is, the spring of 2023, and we're already looking out at summer of 24 and what we're going to do next year, and even just some thoughts around 2025. You know, we have some general ideas for 2025. And the reason we're planning so far out, because I immersed myself in the Asphalt Odyssey last year at the lap around America, and I realized that I spent a lot of time in planning, because that was a 2-month trip. It required some planning. And so I was immersed into it well a year out, and so I didn't even realize how much time it took. And now we're going on a shorter trip here this spring up to Quebec, and I feel like I'm constantly behind the power curve on planning and preparation. So I want to start planning next year's trip. And as soon as you get back, you get the laundry done for this year's trip.
Well, the Spyder is at the dealership, and when I was talking to the service folks about what the symptoms were, what we thought the problem could be, it involves the center shock, the center airbag, and the compressor that adjusts the pressure inside the airbag, sort of in the heart of the Spyder. So I know going in there to service that is really labor intensive. You have to get in there and disassemble a lot of the Spyder just to get to it. The parts themselves are not that expensive, but just the time to get in there to it. So in talking with them about how long this is going to take, because we have this trip coming up, and I know technicians have been burned by giving assurances that a machine will be ready by a certain date, and then because of things beyond their control, such as availability of parts, they could not deliver, and they get blamed. So they're hesitant to commit to a delivery date for any type of service. And well, that's concerning because we have a trip coming up, and I know I should have taken the Spyder in earlier and got this addressed. That way there wouldn't have been any stress, and we knew we would get it done on time. So I told Miriam, I'm not 100% positive that we can get the Spyder serviced and get it back on the road in time for this trip, and it really could have some adverse impact on this upcoming trip. I hope not.
Well, that was certainly a quick and painless maintenance process. First, thank you to All Out Cycles for doing a remarkable job, but we'll get into that in a moment. They called me yesterday and wanted to compare my experiences I was having with the suspension with what their technician found. And I told them that the pump appeared to be cycling more than normal, and that concerned me, considering I don't know if that could be a catastrophic failure is imminent. And they said, number one, the system is holding pressure to specs. There does not appear to be any leaks. And even if the airbag or the compressor were to fail, those are not catastrophic events. And the shock has a manual inflation point, a straighter valve, that should the compressor or the airbag fail, I can straighten that camera up. I can manually add pressure to the system. So, and to replace a component that may have a very small leak that's not even measurable, which may be causing the air pump to cycle more frequently, it's not a reason to get in there and change everything out, because you have to dig really, really deep into the interior of the Spyder to get to that, and the labor on that is really, it's a lot of labor, and so it's just easier to address it if and should it actually fail, and I agree with them. So that's resolved. And you know, a shop that is looking to just extract money from customers would have found evidence to support my fear and would gladly charged me the fee to change all that stuff out. But that's one of the things I like about a good, respectable dealership such as All Out Cycles. You know, I feel comfortable that if they tell me there's something wrong, that there's something wrong. And that's a good relationship to have. So a couple of days ago, as I'm climbing off the Spyder at All Out Cycles, I'm a little preoccupied. Marion was waiting for me in the parking lot. I needed to get the Spyder in and get the service process started, and hope we can get it out before the trip. But as I'm climbing off, a young man walks up to me. He had just was coming by the dealership to look at Spyders, and he saw me climbing off of one. And he motioned to the Spyder and asked, "Is it worth it?" And that is not only is it a profound question, it's perfect for for this week's video, our Spyder-versery, because is it worth it? Well, there's a lot to unpack there. The Can-Am Spyder. Is it worth it? Well, that's a question each of you would have to answer yourselves. And for us, the process started with, yes, we know it's a luxury. We don't have to have it. But there is more to life than just paying your bills and meeting your obligations. In our opinion, life is something to be savored, to enjoy, to experience. And for us, we got to use the Can-Am Spyder to help us with that. We've got to travel a lot, and the unintended consequences, we're meeting many other folks, Spyder enthusiasts, people who are curious about the Spyder, and to share that journey with others. And for us, it's been perfect. So for us, the answer is, yeah, it's definitely worth it. Is the Can-Am Spyder right for you? Well, that's something you're going to have to answer for yourself. But I just know for us, it definitely was. And looking back, absolutely no regrets whatsoever. Well, guys, that's going to be about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got some other content coming up in the near future before we head out on our spring trip. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Press that little subscribe button, and also give us that thumbs up. That helps the algorithm present our video in front of other people who may be like-minded and may be looking for this kind of content but not know exactly what they're looking for. So please consider doing that. So guys, until next time, thanks for watching. Take care.